Wouldn't it be funny if it was just nothing? What's up, guys? I'm Pencil here, and here we are to do a breakdown and discussion on the possibilities of Yorozu's gift. So, obviously, with the end of chapter 235, leaving Sukuna in a, let's just say less than palatable state, I guess that's a way to put it. Yeah, he could definitely use a little bit of external assistance. Obviously, he has Megami's body. Obviously, he still has RCT. Obviously, he has the most raw curse energy in the entire series. So, does he need some sort of out at the moment 100%? No, not necessarily, but obviously he's not in the best of spots, and unlike a certain Satoru Gojo, he does not have the 6 eyes that make his cursed energy consumption near zero. If only he had some way, especially considering his current way of getting past the infinity outside the domain has been vaporized and atomized, for lack of a better term, if only he had something that was previously set up within the series beforehand that could hypothetically come in clutch and save him from his fate of the ever dangerous backshots from the strongest sorcerer. Yeah, we're talking about Yorozu's gift and the couple different possibilities I think it could have within the narrative, and why I think hopefully it's gonna matter. Hopefully, it's hard to tell with Gege, but let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into the discussion. What's up, guys? I'll go Pencil here. Fun fact: I have it on me. I keep it on me, and you know what Sukuna doesn't have on him? And hasn't kept on him for a hot minute now, his weapons. Like, you know those two things that we've only seen once? Yeah, his weapons just don't exist. Like, you know, I got a sword, I got another sword, I got a couple different, I got okay, it's stuck. I got a hammer, like I got some stuff. I keep it on me at all times. You know, you gotta stay prepared. But Sukuna, unfortunately, has not stayed prepared. And now, there could be a very specific reason for this. It could literally be the fact that, they're the weapons of the King of Curses. And if they couldn't destroy his glaive wax, you know, that stuff that sealed his fingers, they probably ended up destroying his weapons, considering those were threats in of themselves. So, if they got destroyed, they got destroyed. However, considering Yorozu was the biggest Omega crazy fan of Sukuna, it wouldn't be all too shocking to me if her gift to Sukuna was those weapons. And considering she literally wants Sukuna to think of the gift as her, you know, that juicy, wonderful, scrumdiddlyumptious thing that she thought she was for Sukuna, wouldn't it only be perfect if Sukuna got all handsy with the weapons that were made from Yorozu, considering she views themselves as the weapons, and thusly Sukuna would kind of get a little bit of that Yorozu touching and loving, you know what I'm talking about? But the main reason I bring up these weapons is because a lot of people really expect a lot from these weapons. Me personally, I don't, mainly because, like, they've only appeared once. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they literally only appear in that one opener to chapter 117. I don't think we've ever seen those weapons again. Notably, the weapon is a staff spear thing. I don't have one of those. And a weird, there we go. A weird short dagger thing with like a spear and a spear. Like, we have no idea what these things do. Absolutely not at all. But in the world of JJK, especially with Gege, that could literally mean they are the specific things that Sukuna needs to break through infinity. Notably, I've seen a lot of people theorize that hypothetically Sukuna's spear could be the original inverted spear of heaven. The only reason I'm a little bit iffy with that is because, like, they don't look alike at all, but I guess you could just say there are multiple variations of that specific type of weapon, and obviously a weapon that has a similar property to inverted spear would be really, really nice for Sukuna to have right now, considering his portable, self-controlled inverted spear of heaven got vaporized by hollow purple. Now, you may be wondering, like I was wondering, why would Sukuna not use it then? Like, why would he not open with that? Well, Sukuna didn't really like Yorozu, like, at all. I don't think he wants to have to be forced to use her gift, and even if it was something as convenient as his old weapons, I highly doubt he would just readily snatch that opportunity up. He probably would have to be forced to it. Because you gotta remember, despite how unprideful he seems, Sukuna's a very proud person. Like, you can even see it in the Gojo and Sukuna fight. He is consistently downplaying and belittling Gojo. He does take pride in his title as the strongest. And sure, is he not afraid to use underhanded tactics to keep or maintain that title? Of course not. This is the same guy who stole a 15-year-old's body because he was afraid of fighting a 28-year-old man. He couldn't care less. But still, I feel like for someone like Yorozu, someone who Sukuna didn't even really like, and also probably didn't really want the help from, just based on how he reacts to receiving the gift. It wouldn't shock me if he was essentially fighting it off as hard as he could. Even if they were his original weapons that had the specific things needed to bypass the infinity, he probably did not want to give in to Yorozu like that, because that's essentially what that is. However, only reason why I'm slightly hesitant on it being Sukuna's original weapons is one, because once again, they've only appeared once. There's never been a reference to any of their abilities or anything like that. So Sukuna literally yanking his old weapons out of his behind seems a little bit like a booty pull, because it's literally what it would be. But at the same time, it's gay, so I wouldn't be all too shocked. And the other reason I'm a little bit iffy, well, there's 3 reasons. 1, because I feel like a booty pull. 2, because I feel like, this sounds so stupid, but like the gift she gave Sukuna was so tiny. Like, it literally fit in her hand. Like, unless I'm misremembering. In fact, I'll double check it right now. Unless I'm misremembering, the gift was, like, extremely tiny. We don't actually get to see if it was, like, a big, massive spear or anything like that. But let me double check. Maybe I'm just incorrect. I believe this chapter... It's too late. Is it chapter 219? Yeah, chapter 219. Notably, when she gives him the gift, she says, "Here, this is for you. Think of it as me and use it with care." We don't even get to see what it is, but she extends her hand out like this. Now, notably, we do see the creation effects come off of her, and we cut away at the end of the chapter before we can see the gift fully materialize. And it wouldn't be the first time that a creation user, nowhere near Yorozu's level, has made a special grade cursed tool on their deathbed. Look at Mai creating the Soul Split Katana, which is arguably like second best cursed tool in the entire verse that actually has any clarification behind it. Inverted Spear of Heaven is just a little bit too broken. I'm sorry, turning off techniques is way too cracked, but Duranegging everything through soul contact is also pretty broken. So I wouldn't be too surprised if Yorozu made something that is the perfect counter to the infinity in Sukuna's weapons. That's the one thing. The fact that her hand is so small when she hands it out does feel a little bit off to me. I feel like it should be something bigger, but once again, it's super duper vague on whether or not it even is anything of that variety. Third reason why I'm a little bit off about it is, once again, it doesn't feel right for Sukuna to have weapons that are already built to counter the infinity. Like, notably, it seems like the Gojo clan is pretty modern, or at least the Limitless and Six Eyes technique are relatively modern to Sukuna, because he doesn't recognize them. Like, when Sukuna first reincarnates in Yuji's body, he actually doesn't recognize Gojo's technique at all. And he seems to have no built-in automatic counters to it himself. Like, he doesn't have anything outside a domain that can get past the neutral Limitless. So it feels weird that Yorozu, who is from the exact same time period as Sukuna, would know about the neutral Limitless, would know that she needs to make something for Sukuna to bypass it, and that Sukuna's weapons would specifically be that. Feels a little bit like there's convenience, then there's Omega convenience. And I'm leaning towards Omega convenience on that one. I'm not rocking with that all too much, but that's the most basic and straightforward idea. They are literally just Sukuna's weapons. They may have only appeared once, they may have absolutely nothing clarified about them, but you know, Gege wouldn't be the first time that Gege's plopped something in the narrative once, plopped something on a cover page, and then was like, hey, let's bring this back like 100 chapters later. Would not be the first time. Highly doubt it will be the last. The next major idea. I mean, I hate to say it because it sounds so simple and catch-all, but like, it's just a senzu bean. For my Dragon Ball fans out there, it's a senzu bean. Or for my Pokemon fans out there, it's a full restore. Or for my Kingdom Hearts fans out there, I guess just Final Fantasy in general, it's literally just an elixir. Like, it's that thing that's an item that fully restores everything that the user of the item needs. Whether that be ki, health, MP, anything like that. It simply essentially resets Sukuna back to base. That is what Yorozu could have made him. Now, I feel... I'm not sure if I feel worse about this or the weapons. Mainly because, one... You know what the wrong thing is? It makes sense though, right? Because the biggest issue, one of the biggest issues, not the biggest, the neutral limitless is the biggest issue that Sukuna has to deal with. But one of the biggest issues that Gojo has over Sukuna is the fact that he basically can't run out of cursed energy. Especially considering it's confirmed the Black Flashes restored his RCT output. It's likely that his regular output is back to base too. And thusly, Gojo's probably spent at most, and I know this sounds crazy, on like 5 or 6 domains, all varying properties, and multiple purples and multiple blues and multiple reds, but I wouldn't be shocked in saying that Sukuna is probably at like 25% curse energy reserves, while Gojo's probably at 90. Obviously, one of these two is in a much better situation in terms of their general output, and not only that, but how much curse energy they have left to keep the fight going. And thusly, something as simple as catch all as a literal senzu bean, something that will restore Sukuna essentially to the base point that he was at the start of this battle, it could work. Also, it doesn't have the same issue that I have with Sukuna's weapons being made. It literally could be senzu bean sized. It could be so tiny that Sukuna, when getting it from Yorozu, could barely see it because it's just tiny and formed in her hands. Once again, I do kind of have similar issues with this that I do with the weapons. Like, if Yorozu has such faith in Sukuna, why would she leave him with a full restore? Like, obviously she would believe that Sukuna's unstoppable, untouchable. It's big daddy Sukuna. There's no way some 28-year-old fraud from the modern day could ever do any damage to Sukuna daddy. But like, I guess you could just chalk it up to being safe rather than sorry. And you could also chalk it up to Yorozu just being, can I say that word? It's a 5-letter word. Rhymes with stinky. But like, and the reason I say that is because, you know, she specifically tells Sukuna to think of the gift as her and treat it with care. The treat with care part gets in the way, but something tells me, like some parts of the fandom do, Yorozu probably wants to be eaten by Sukuna. So if it literally functions like a senzu bean or an elixir or any potion of the sort, simply consuming that would probably get Yorozu clicking her heels in the underworld. Like, I think she'd be perfectly happy if that ended up being the case, and Sukuna ended up having to resort to that. Once again, it feels just a teeny tiny bit off. Once again, it's just the weird narrative behind it. Like, yeah, oh yeah, we're gonna build this in so that Sukuna can just literally just full restore himself, like the battle never even started. Like, it makes sense. It's not the worst because things have happened. Things have permanently been affected. Maharaga is cooked. The wheel is destroyed. So he wouldn't exactly be going back to ground zeros. But another question with this, if it is a senzu bean, how senzu is this bean? Or how bean is this senzu, if you know what I'm saying? AKA, could Sukuna open domain again? Could he? I don't know. Is he just full up on cursed energy reserves, but he still has the brain damage? Is his entire body physically healed, including his hand, but like he's still tired? Like, what is the upper limits of this? Because like the thing is, we do not have. Let me think. I don't think we have anything that's even remotely close to a senzu bean in this entire series. Like, nothing. I think there's legit nothing that we can chalk up as like, oh, this equals senzu bean. This is something that restores you to full health. For something like Dragon Ball, you have multiple characters who have a healing ability that will just fully restore all the physical damage and the stamina of someone. In Dragon Ball, you have characters like Dende, you have characters like Whis, you have characters. Are those the only two that come to mind? Who are the other? There are more healers in Dragon Ball, but those are the big two that come to mind, who when they heal somebody, they get the full heal, the full proper heal. That, in combination with the senzu bean, sort of gives you a metric for how this would work. For something like, I'd say even Naruto, the absorption of chakra is kind of a catch-all. It can heal you. It can give you more power. It can restore your chakra reserves. It does all that. That's why the Kurama cloaks in the Fourth War were so important. Even in something like Kingdom Hearts, you got potions, you got elixirs, you got all that good stuff. So like, there are things previously established within the universe that would allude to an effect like this existing, but I don't think there's anything in JJK that like gives you a full fresh refresh. Like, that sounds so stupid. A full fresh refresh? Yeah, I don't think there's anything in the series that's established that. Even RCT, it costs a bunch of energy for the person who's healing you, and even then, I don't think they restore your like cursed energy pool. They just restore your physical body. So like, this would literally be a one-time pull out the butt, keep it pushing kind of thing, which I guess works because Yorozu kind of feels like a one-time pull out the butt, get it over with thing. But once again, still feels a teeny tiny bit weird. Then the final option that I have, rolling around the dome, it literally just could be Inverted Spear of Heaven. Or at least something with that similar effect. I specifically mentioned Sukuna's weapons because a lot of people have faith in those things, but I either think they're destroyed or irrelevant in this fight. But if Yorozu, seemingly enough another creation user, remade one of the weapons of Toji Fushiguro and ended up skyrocketing someone like crazy, wouldn't it be apt to continue the parallel to have Yorozu, another creation... Wait, did I say that probably? Yeah. Yorozu, another creation user, come out the clutch and make another weapon of Toji Fushiguro's that happens to be the perfect counter to Satoru Gojo. Especially considering this fight has been building on the idea that Toji is a lasting part in the king's mind, in Sukuna's enemy's Gojo's mind. Gojo's constantly been thinking, oh yeah, this reminds me of my fight with Toji. Oh yeah, I'm dressed like Toji. Oh yeah, I can beat you up and doing it because you look like Toji. So wouldn't it be ironic if the weapon that ended up bringing Gojo down to the point of needing an evolution was recreated by Yorozu, because she, with Megumi's sister's memories, knows something about... The thing is though, has Samuki interacted with Gojo enough to know that something like that would be useful? That's the big issue here. I don't know, and I kind of don't think so. We know Gojo took care of Megumi and Samuki, but I'm not sure Samuki had any real knowledge of the Jujutsu world, like at all. So it would kind of feel, once again, that's the biggest issue with Yorozu's gift overall. Those are the three ideas, by the way. It's either Sukuna's weapons that have a special infinity negating property, it's a senzu bean that fully restores everything and anything that Sukuna has lost, or 3, it's something like Inverted Spear of Heaven. I have a secret 4th option, but I'll talk on that in a bit because it's more negative. I feel like Yorozu's gift, no matter what it is going to feel off. Like, in a similar vein to the Megumi soul swapping unlimited void thing, yes. Is there an explanation for it? Yes. Is it built up? Yes. Is there all that good stuff? Yeah, it is all there, but it still feels wrong. Like, the vibes are not good. That's what it'll feel like to me, regardless of what Yorozu's gift is. It could be Yorozu doing a tap dance for all I know, but it would still feel weird because we have so little information on it. It's literally something that was mentioned once at the end of a chapter and then has not been touched on since. It is mentioned right at the end of 219 and then no one ever touches on it again. Sukuna doesn't mention he got a gift from Yorozu. No one in the narrative knows he's got a gift from Yorozu. So it feels like a random thing that ultimately doesn't seem like it'll do it for me no matter what it is, but that's me putting up like defensive mental barriers anyway. But what's the final thing? This little last thing I hinted at that could be Yorozu's gift. This one could literally just be full-on Yorozu being petty. Because remember, Yorozu loves Sukuna, but she also wanted to go to Sukuna in a very specific way. She wanted to be slashed up, torn apart by Sukuna. He didn't give her that. So how funny would it be if on the end, when Sukuna truly needs Yorozu's help, he uses the gift and it does nothing. Like, nothing at all. It just does absolutely nothing. Because it literally was just a sentimental gift. She didn't create anything of use or importance. And Sukuna perishes, realizing that, oh, she was useless in the end. That would be the semi-dark ending. The real dark ending is that Yorozu literally made something that would take Sukuna out. Like he consumes it or attempts to use it and it would destroy him. That would be the Omega dark way. But I feel like it doing nothing is more like funny and at the same time ironic, considering Yorozu's positioning in the narrative. But those are my ideas. Once again, I don't necessarily have too much faith in Yorozu's gift as anything other than realistically Senzu Bean. If I had to rate the options, what I think it is, I think it goes Senzu Bean, Sukuna's weapons, Inverted Spear of Heaven, nothing. Those are the 4 rankings for me on what I think Yorozu's gift is, but please tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe, and make sure the notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below, where you can for as low as $1 $1 you can link exclusive videos, early content, and more. Also, become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Now, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with a Pencil, writing off.